Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a first look at the maxed Ghostbuster team. This team right here is completely maxed except for Slimer, who is at 5 stars, but other than that, everything here, including the set, is completely maxed. As always, thank you to Tipster for sending this footage my way. It's some pretty interesting stuff. So, first of all, it seems like this team is not great against pirates at all. They initially said it was about a 50-50 win rate, and I think they got to that number with a 7-star Slimer, because she has not won yet with a full Ghostbuster team up against pirates. Now, she does play all these battles on auto, because that gives you a somewhat good idea of how this team will do on defense, and she also tests most of it. Kind of gives like a level playing field, because player error is completely removed from the question. So as you can see right here, this battle is already lost, and it's just now hitting the 4-minute mark in the battle. It's only been 1 minute, and the team is already destroyed, and that pirate team is looking just fine. So with the second battle here, it's the same exact story. It's basically just complete destruction, and the Ghostbuster team didn't really even have a shot. So I find that interesting. I don't think Ghostbusters are going to work against pirates at all. Against Ninjagos, it's a bit of a different story. They do pretty well versus Ninjago teams, as we're going to see in just a minute here. But Ninjago is not really the meta right now. Pirates are still holding strong as the main meta. So if you did decide to get this Ghostbuster team and you decided to get Slimer, I don't think it's really going to help you in Arena. It does sound like Slimer's going to be a very useful unit for Brickspedition, because he's just really good in general, but up against pirates, not so much, especially in a full Ghostbuster team. Now, there is a variation to this team that was winning pretty consistently against pirates. I actually don't think she lost even once with that variation, and we'll see that in just a minute. But basically, it's Basil and Willa with Egon, Winston, and Slimer. So you're basically subbing out the two unboxed characters, Ray and Venkman, for the very powerful duo of Basil and Willa, and also very expensive duo. So very few players are actually going to have that team, but if you do, it will work quite well against pirates, and you can full auto them without too much trouble. But before we get to that footage, let's first take a look at a Max Ghostbuster team up against a Ninjago team. Now, this is the team with Garmadon, which is currently considered the best Ninjago team. Even though he is only at 2 stars, he is very, very effective. But this Ghostbuster team just completely tears through Ninjago. Like, it's really no joke. They said that Ghostbusters would be good against Ninjago, and they definitely are. It's probably not a 100% win rate, but it seems like it's pretty close to it. As you can see with this battle, Lloyd and Wu are already dead. And, yeah, here comes the ultimate. So let's see what happens. And, yeah, there's the 10k AoE when it's a critical hit. That was just a absolute slaughter. And here it's going to be very similar. This battle goes a little bit longer, but again, it's a pretty easy win. This time there is Zane in there instead of Garmadon, but it is a similar story. This battle was a little bit rougher. I believe Winston died by the end, but they still won with 4 units standing. And that previous battle was up against a 2-star Garmadon, so as Garmadon gets to a higher star level, he will hold a little bit better, but I still think, just taking a look at how quickly they tore through Lloyd and Wu, this team is going to do quite well versus Ninjago. And also, this footage is on auto, like I mentioned earlier, so if you're playing this on manual, you should have no trouble at all. So let's take a second to talk about Slimer real quickly. He is going to be stuck at 5 stars, maybe 6. I'm not sure if she has attempted the 6th tier of the Slimer event. I assume she has, and that's why he's only at 5 stars. Maybe she wasn't able to beat it. It might have been similar difficulty to the Master Wu event. But either way, he's going to be an insane unit at 5 stars. When he's maxed at gear 6, he's going to have 36,277 awesomeness. That is quite a bit for a 5-star character. And when he's at 7, I think he will be well over 40,000. His max health is going to be 10,231 at 5 stars, which isn't horrible. That should be enough to keep him alive and allow other units to protect him, like Winston, and that will at least protect him from like AoEs and that type of thing. So as long as he's not taking a lot of direct fire, he should be fine. His defense is also 431, so that will help as well with survivability, just make him tank a few more hits. But his attack stat is the most insane thing about this character. At just 5 stars, his attack is 3,719. I believe that's 200 more than Venkman, who was like 1,000 more than Highwayman or something like that. It's insane how much attack these Ghostbuster characters have, and that does translate to a lot of damage. As you see here, Slimer does a lot of damage, especially when he gets that attack up too. He is quite deadly. Also, by the way, this right here is that Bazilla and GB hybrid team that I mentioned earlier that is very effective against pirates on auto. This is the double tank team that works super well because Basil can keep dying, Willa can keep bringing him back, and it just works pretty well. And as you can see here, Slimer is able to survive some of those AoE attacks, and even if he does get damaged, he can hide under stealth and survive for a little bit longer. I am curious to see if another team will evolve out of this, maybe with the core 3 of Basil, Willa, and Slimer, and then maybe a couple other units in there besides Egon and Winston. Even though those two are solid, I feel like there might be some better alternatives. Maybe even throw in like Wu and Kai or something just for some insane damage with Wu's ultimate and then Kai's ultimate right after. Just something like that. Because I feel like Basil does a pretty good job of keeping your team alive, and you might be able to throw in a couple other units, although Wu in there would be putting Basil under stealth, which isn't really what you want. So maybe like Kai and Jay could be interesting, or even throw back in Redbeard, throw in like Redbeard and Kai. It's interesting to see that the full Ghostbuster team is not as good as a team that only uses a few of their units, but of course Basil and Willa are very good. So I mean, that's kind of to be expected because those two units are so powerful together. So do I think this is going to shift the meta? No. I don't think enough people are actually going to get these Ghostbuster characters to make a big difference. Slimer at 5 stars is going to be really good, so the players that do just take their Ghostbusters to 5 stars just to unlock Slimer, I think are going to be in a pretty good place because he might be useful in some other teams similar to like Master Wu, where he can just kind of be like a plug-and-play unit. So no, I don't think Ghostbusters will shake up the meta, but the players that do unlock Slimer might find some use for him. Alright, that's going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.